Okay, thank you, Jane. As we said in our last part of our session, and we were looking at what you shared with me about work life balance, and life seems to be falling apart because you're not able to balance the long working hours, the shift, your family, you have young babies, and you are feeling like you have left yourself. So, in this part of the session, I just want to enhance what you said you've been doing in order to be able to improve your work life balance. We are going to look at a few steps that you can do, or some few activities you can do to be able to have work life balance so that you don't live at home, you don't lose at home, and you don't lose at the place of work, and you can feel a star in both places. One first step that you can do, you need to set your priorities. What is the one thing you would want to focus on? And this you can do in planning your life. What is the one thing you want to achieve at the workplace today? You would want to achieve this month? This answers your question on priority. And then you list down the priorities in a manner that the first priority, the second priority, the third and the fourth priority. After you've done that, we go to our step 2. Track your time for 1 week. That is, what I mean by this is, before you embark completely into work-life balance, you need to analyze yourself very well. And that's why you need to track your time for 1 week. It might be a bit difficult, but try this. When you wake up in the morning, just note in a small notebook, from this time I took breakfast, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, and track yourself for at least 1 week. How much time do you spend on things that do not matter? And when I share this with you, it's because it's something I've done practically to track myself for 1 week. And you find even at the workplace, for example, if you're working in a hospital whereby, yes, maybe your office is quite busy or your ward is quite busy, but before you get to your ward, you meet other colleagues, maybe they're coming from a different shift, and you spend maybe 10 minutes or that minutes talking to some people, greeting and say hi. Well, I appreciate it's good to connect with the people. You need to explore and examine, is this adding value, or is it a healthy way of spending your time? Or sometimes we go visiting other people in the offices and you spend the time not doing the client work or even taking care of yourself. As much as you need to do some support system to yourself, you need to analyze how much time do you spend on things that do not matter. Sometimes you can even spend time with the family members talking things that are going just to drain you. And you find the whole weekend you went to visit a relative or a brother or a sister, but the things you are discussing, they're not adding value. They even leave you more depressed than you were. So you need to track your time carefully. How do I spend my time the whole week? This will help you to look back and see, how do I want to spend my time? Yes, you can have friends for support system, you can have family, but in the right time, the right place. Step number 3, after tracking your time, concentrate on one thing at a time. Remember, you have already set up your priorities, priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, to priority 4. Then concentrate on one thing at a time. Forget about multitasking. As I said sometimes earlier, we talked about, as healthcare professionals, sometimes we find ourselves, especially nurses, doing multitasking jobs. But this is an area, if you want to improve your work-life balance, you need to, for a while, to forget about multitasking. Devote to the task that is at hand. If it's bathing a patient, just train your mind and speak to your mind. Even if you remember you've not ordered things from the store, this is time for this patient, and work with what is at hand. When you are working, work. Again, you can also concentrate on one thing. If it's at work, you concentrate at work. Do not allow yourself to get entangled with what is happening at home. When you are at work, work. When you are at home, be at home. When you are with your family, be with your family. It's not unusual to find some of us, even when we are off duty, we are still connecting with the workplace to find out what's happening. Forget about multitasking, so that you give maximum to yourself and maximum time to work. Step number 4, schedule one thing you look forward to each day to do. I think with experience over the years of practice as a nursing professional, there are times we forget completely about ourselves. And I've listened to colleagues sometimes, we don't talk about how much we take care of ourselves. When do we do our exercises? Do we even have a hobby? Do we do reading? How many books have you read so far? Maybe in a month or in a week. So for you to have work-life balance, there is need to schedule one thing you look forward to doing every day or every month or every week. Exercises, hobbies, and also reading. Step number 5, respect your private time. When you have set time for yourself, do not allow anything except an emergency to come on the way. If you've decided today is your day and you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, just respect your time. Number 6, take a look at your personal habits and the general lifestyle. Lack of sleep, poor nutrition, lack of exercises. You need to look into that and improve on that. Number 7, you need to take a vacation. Doesn't have to be expensive. Just decide during your leave, you will go somewhere with yourself, by yourself, and even if you have somebody to accompany, it's not to discuss about family or to discuss about work. Again, we have talked a lot about asking for support. You can have support from colleagues. You can have support from family. Tell your boss, tell your family members, colleagues, and anyone else involved in your life. Tell them that you have a plan to take care of yourself. You have a plan to improve your work-life balance. You can also hire a personal coach who can help you in balancing your life. And you can also have a mentor who has been on this journey and can also support you. Get a lot of exercises, physical exercises, because the body produces the feel-good hormones and you also feel good about yourself. Set your boundaries, except when there are emergencies. Do not, as I said, allow people to interfere your personal life, personal space, unless there is an emergency that has come up, or there is you have agreed a particular time you are going to handle a particular issue that they are having. And even as I conclude this, how to improve your work-life balance, it's important for us as healthcare providers. Sometimes the demands at workplace do not allow us to say no. But you need to look at life critically. You can say no, and life is life-threatening work that needs to be done. Even in the family setup, you can say no. Learn how to say no and stay on your no unless it's life-threatening. And as you do this, evaluate what you've gone through and see whether it's working, and where it's not working, you can always improve, and you can also get professional help so that you can have work-life balance, so that you become a star at home and also you can become a star at the workplace. Thank you. Hoping to see you in another session if need arises.